Welcome to the Fashion Label Brazil podcast. I'm Ale Farah, a fashion and innovation journalist, and your host for this new series brought to you by Abest and Apex Brazil. We are excited to present a curated selection of the finest Brazilian brands. This podcast connects Brazilian creativity with the world. In this episode, we embark on an inspired journey through the design rooted in the land, the water, and the hands of North and Northeastern Brazil, regions poised to lead a design revolution. Before diving into conversation with amazing fashion creators from Ceará and the Amazon, we welcome Tara Morley, owner of 3 boutiques in the Bahamas called Coco of Nassau. For over a decade, she has successfully championed Brazilian fashion, and she shares her insights on the global appeal of our brands and her recent visits to Belém and Fortaleza. We then head to Ceará, exploring 2 brands, Água de Coco and Marina Patu, from the capital Fortaleza and the resilient Sertão. Here, under the blazing sun, a deep connection to tradition meets modern innovation. From artisanal weaving to sustainable practice, the designs are filled with soul, telling stories of heritage and hope for the future. Next, we journey into the heart of the Amazon to Belém, Pará, where 2 remarkable accessories designers, Naisha, Cardoso, and Müller, are crafting pieces the world needs to discover. Drawing inspiration from the majestic Amazon River, the indigenous traditional communities, and the beauty of natural fibers, seeds, wood, and stones, these visionary women merge cultural heritage with sustainability at the very core of their creations. The brands we feature today don't just create fashion, they represent the spirit of a Brazil rarely seen in international markets. Together, they showcase how Northeastern and Amazonian design can inspire the world and lead us toward a more sustainable future in fashion. Hi Tara, thanks a lot for talking to us. Let's start with you. Tell me about your experience with the Brazilian fashion.
Yeah, so I have 3 multi-brand ladies boutiques here in the Bahamas called Coco of Nassau. It was originally founded by my grandmother back in 1956 and then taken over by my mother. And now I'm doing all of the buying and management of the stores. So 3rd generation. And we've been carrying Brazilian lines here for over a decade.
Wow.
In general, Brazil seems to have a very aligned design aesthetic for the Bahamas. Their seasons are also more aligned with us. And so, for instance, not outside of accessories, but in clothing with things like Farm Rio and Patu, the sort of tropical nature of the dresses, whether it's the bright, bold prints of Farm Rio or the sultry, sexy netted beach dresses of Patu, very much makes sense for the Bahamas and sort of that happiness that you're looking for from the Farm Rio prints or that beach to bar aesthetic that Patu offers in abundance. For the island life, it's something unique and special for tourists that are visiting the island, and it's just the right vibe.
Tell me about how the customers are reacting to the clothes.
I think that something Brazil does very well is their understanding of the female form and how to really highlight the female form so that everybody can feel their most beautiful and sexy and really feel like the best version of themselves.
So you went to this fair in the northeast of Brazil. Is that right?
That's correct. So I had the honor of being invited by Abest to come and take a look at some of the offerings of the Brazilian designers in Ceará and Pará.
Yes.
And Brazil may be one country, but there are many Brazils within Brazil. And I got a chance to discover some of these other Brazils on this trip, which was really a phenomenal experience. And one of the things that I found particularly interesting on that trip, well, I got to meet Catarina Mina and do a tour of their whole operation while we were there, which was amazing, and obviously a brand that we already carry. And one of the things that had also drawn me to that brand was obviously their focus on sustainability, but also their collaboration with the artisans and putting the artisans first. And as I got to explore more of the brands from that region, something that was super interesting for me was that there were quite a few brands that were collaborating very closely with their immediate community for production of the goods and just trying to create livelihoods in areas where there hadn't previously existed opportunities for some of the women that they're collaborating with. And so that fine line between maintaining the link, with your past, but then creating something relevant for today's world and for the broader market, something that's going to speak to the customer that walks through the door. Given that I have the selling experience, I mean, every single person who walks through our doors picks up a Catarina Mina bag and we tell them the story and they fall in love. It is immediately visible without even having to explain it, the level of detail and craftsmanship that goes into every single one of their articles of clothing or handbags. And it's really quite unique and definitely differentiated them from other brands that I've met with in the marketplace. I think in a world where there's so much fast fashion, it's refreshing to go back to something so handmade. So I was really, really impressed with that.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you again. Take care. Pleasure.
Now, let's go to the passionate and sunny state of Ceará. Let's talk first with Renato Tomás from Água de Coco, a brand that is an event wherever it goes. Next year, Água de Coco will celebrate 40 years of great success. Hello, Renato.
Hi, Ali and Abest. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Talking about the brand, Água de Coco, it's almost 40 years old, and we are based in Brazil. We're born in Brazil, in the state of Ceará, and we are so proud to be made in Brazil and very tropical brand. We are almost 500 employees. We have 29 stores in Brazil and one store in the US in Miami. So we are very proud to be here with you and Abest.
So how does the rich culture of in Northeast of Brazil influence your designs?
I think the most important thing that we have from where we born, from the Northeast, the Ceará, is the handmade. I think handmade is so important for us because we have a lot of things that it's very rich, like a rich culture by the handmade. And we have a lot of beautiful beaches. So I think that inspires us very well.
What's the core of Água de Coco?
Well, Água de Coco was born being beachwear and a swimwear brand. And lately, that's the biggest and the most important challenge for us. That is, we are not only beachwear and swimwear anymore. We are a lifestyle brand. So we started making bikinis, swimsuits, one-piece suits, and cover-ups and that kind of things. But now we have a lot of things to the brand. So we have pants, we have dresses, we have launched 9 years ago a home and decoration line. We have men's, we have women's, we have resort wear, we have kids. I think today we are a lifestyle brand, not only a beachwear.
Sustainability is a key factor for today's fashion market. What are your initiatives to ensure eco-friendly practice?
Well, sustainability is a key factor for us too. We have a lot of initiatives that we promote with a lot of people cleaning the beaches, like cleaning the plastic, cleaning wastes that are at the beaches. We have a lot of natural fabrics, like a bamboo fabrics, bio fabrics. So we don't usually use like plastic bags in the stores anymore, more than 10 years, something like that. We just only use paper bags. And for the Ziplocs bags that we have, give our clients, they are made with plastics that are recycled from the oceans. So the only plastics that we use it in the stores, they are already recycled from the oceans.
Oh, nice. And you have like a very nice work with the artisans, right?
Yes, we do. We have that kind of work in Ceará, and we are doing that kind of work all along Brazil too.
If you have to tell the world what is the northeast and the north of Brazil, how can you like summarize? How can you explain?
I would say handmade.
Handmade.
Yes, we have a lot of handmade work. We have crochet, we have knit, we have paper straw, we have I think handwork, handmade it's our core word for the Northeast.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
The northeast of Brazil is very rich of crafts, of nature, of personal experience. Marina Fontanari went to the backlands of Ceará and relived her family ancestry, her habits and customs to create her first collection in 2021. Since then, Marina has created pieces that catch everyone's attention, inside and outside Brazil. Hello, Marina, dear. Welcome to the Fashion Label Brazil podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
So, Marina, you make beautiful pieces. Tell me a little bit about the story behind your brand and what do you think makes it special for international buyers and consumers?
Patu was created by me and my mother in 2020. I was a lawyer, but my mom, she always worked in fashion business. And she had a dream of her own business, but with me. And I went to her hometown where she was born. It's we call Sertão, of the northeast of Brazil, in the state of Ceará. And it's a really forgotten place in Brazil. A lot of people doesn't even know the existence of these places. And my grandfather, he still lives there. And I had the idea to tell about a little bit the story of my family. And Patu is the name of a lake where she was born. And she used to play and she used to go always there. So the name is really meaningful and important for me. The first collection, it's all about my family. It was inspired by like the pants and the shirts that my grandfather used to use. And it was in my memory. So it was like a family tribute, pretty much.
What's the size of the brand today?
We have now one store in São Paulo that is going to turn 1 year old. And we still have a store in Fortaleza, the first one. And all the production still in Fortaleza.
How the rich culture of Ceará, I mean, we have lampião, we have cangaço, we have the beats, we have the foods. Ceará is such a rich state. I mean, the artisans, the material, natural material, the fabrics and everything. How do you keep putting your heritage inside your designs?
Everything for me, pretty much in Ceará, it's inspired me. We had a collection, I think it was the third one, and we call Carnaúba. And it's a tree that you can see even if you go to the beaches and even if you go to Sertão. So it was a tree that was like really inside my memories. And the Carnaúba tree, it's really, really special for the Ceará because we can do like a lot of handcrafted things with the Carnaúba leaf. And so we made a whole collection inspired by Carnaúba.
Incredible. How do you see yourself abroad?
When we opened the store in São Paulo had people from all part of the world. So the interest in the international market started really, really strong. And now we are like 3 years old. So we are starting to sell in Greece, USA. We already sell in Dubai. So it's really nice to see people from all the part of the world excited to get to know about the place and about my inspirations. They want to know all the process. So this is really, really beautiful and meaningful for me.
Amazing. So before we finish, what steps in your brands are you taking to stay like eco-friendly?
We only use natural fabrics, line, 100% cotton, and pretty much Brazilian fabrics. So this is really important for us. I think sustainability, it's also about politics. It's also about to help the economy, the place that you are into. So we are like 100% Brazilian. And then also something for me that's really, really important. It's the seamstresses. They are from Fortaleza. All the products are made by women, and they are made in Fortaleza because it's the place that I got my inspiration. So it would be fair to use the story, the place that I was born, the inspiration, and not to help them. We are a slow fashion.
So thank you so much, Marina. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work. It's really important for the Brazilian brands. Thank you so much. And please come to visit us to drink a cajuína. It's the cashew juice that we always serve in our store in São Paulo. Everybody love it.
We will. Now we head to Amazon, the most surprising, rich, and important region of Brazil. Pará and its capital Belém stand out for their unique music, cuisine, and fashion. We'll talk to two jewelry designers, starting with amazing Naisha Cardoso, whose creations mimic the rivers and feature transparent glass in some of her most iconic designers. Welcome, Naisha.
Hi, Ale. I'm born and raised in Belém, the state of Pará, and I have the influence of Amazon. I have internalized the Amazon in my soul, and my jewels are very affective collection of permanent collection of jewels, and I do love materials, and I use natural gemstones, and I use silver and gold, but my passion is secondhand glass and the liquid of Amazon. So I use the natural infusions of herbs of Ver-Peso, who is a open air market in Latin America. And I use tucupi, which is a subproduct of mandioca, which is the Brazilian food for excellence. And I love to use this tradition for transgression. Amazon, Belém, my city, it's a very cosmopolitan city. And I love use the transparent glass because I think the water, it's Amazon. We have to talk about this water, the end of this river, this emergency. And I use my work to a form of protest, but protest with beauty, because beauty can communicate.
Perfect. So how do you make sure that your pieces are sustainable?
We have this local production, and so I don't have stock, and I have only permanent collections, only on demand, zero waste. I practice the circular design, and it's all about balance and being small and conscient.
Your pieces are so beautiful. I mean, so unique.
I use Brazilian tourmalines, and I prefer use only Brazilian natural gemstones because we have the color, which is the color of Brazil. Tourmaline can traduce perfectly this point of view.
So how long are you doing this piece? How long you have the atelier?
almost 20 years I have the atelier. But actually, for now, I have 15 permanent collections with all this kind of different materials, all about Amazon being local and global.
Sure. Naisha, you use gold and silver. Are all they recycled?
Absolutely. Since the beginning, I use it only recycled silver and gold.
What is your best seller?
A earring, which is to a necklace, and I call it Nu Brasil, nude, Brazil nude. A jewel, you can cross the jewel in your ear and in your necklace, and it doesn't have a shape. It makes the balance of your shape. I have to show you.
It's customized in your body.
Yes, but it's inspired by the idea of indigenous jewel, which, my opinion, it's a very sophisticated thing.
Wow, I'm super fan of your work. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I see you soon. As we can see, designers from north of Brazil have sustainability deeply rooted in the DNA of their work. Now, let's talk to one of the most exceptional accessories creators, the young, incredible talent, Barbara Müller. Her jewelry and wood bags have caught the attention of buyers, art collectors, publishers around the world. Welcome, Barbara.
Hi, Ale. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to me to be here. I am the designer behind our brand, where we craft traditional bench-made jewelry by hand, free from all the industrial process. Our creation blend locally sourced natural materials like intricately carved wood with noble metals sourced from rose, resulting in unique and sustainable pieces. When I reflect the journey of the brand, one thing stands out is our deep connection to art. Shortly after graduating college, I had the incredible honor of showcasing my work in my first major international exhibition in Milan.
But was it a necklace or earring?
It's a necklace that's called Lung of the World. Eventually, it was inspired by a Brazilian art collector. In this moment that I decided to officially launch the brand and symbolically completing 10 years of the brand, I decided to finally open the doors to international sales. And now we are ready to create a deeper communication and open sales to international markets.
So, Barbara, you are from the north of Brazil, a state called Pará, where we have the COP30 next year. So how do you think your work express your identity?
I have a true and everyday connection with my region, and I love the food, the music, the rivers, and daily life here was become a great laboratory for inspiration. The production is also all done here with local labor and raw materials byproducts from the region itself. So it's very authentic that this identity flows into the creations.
So, Barbara, you are a sustainable brand at heart. Like sustainability is in your DNA. You don't make like a lot of pieces. You make everything by hand. Is that right? Where do you get the inspiration?
Normally, I have a collection in my house that every place that I go, I start to collect things and woods and stones and all that I see. Fruit peel, wood residues, and buffalo horn with precious metals, recycled metals. The wood, I think that wood is a fantastic material. It's just important to know about the origin because this matters so much. So normally I use embuia, rare wood that normally I find in old furniture legs. I'll stay in my house, and after that I draw and start to use everything and try to mix them. Thanks God that I live alone, because when my mother lives with me, she hates that.
Bárbara, I thank you so much for this conversation. I love your brand very, very much. You are such an artist, and I hope you shine a lot. And we will be there next year for COP30.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to participate. Thank you very much.
That's a wrap for today. Thank you for tuning in to the Fashion Label Brazil podcast. We'll be back soon with a new episode. But in the meantime, find us on Instagram at Fashion Label Brazil with S. Drop your question about Brazilian fashion in the comments. I will be happy to answer it. And don't forget to leave a rating or review. They really help us to reach more listeners. This podcast is brought to you by Abest and Apex Brazil. Talk to you soon. Ciao.